All right, so what do we look for first? What do we figure out first to write the equation of the line? Slope. What is the slope of the line I'm looking for?
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular means what? Opposite reciprocal. So here's the slope of the line they gave us. So what's the opposite reciprocal of 5? Okay? So that's what we figure out from the problem telling us it's perpendicular, right? Any problems with that? If it said parallel, we put what for M? The positive 5. Okay? This is how these problems work. Parallel or perpendicular. So if it said parallel, we'd use the 5. Since it said perpendicular, we're using negative 1/5. Okay? 2 ways to do this. You can do point slope form or slope intercept. I like to do slope intercept, which is that. So I know what M is. Then I just use the point that they give us and substitute in for X and Y. Okay? So I put my 4 here. And 1 here. And then solve for B. Well, what's negative 1/5 times 1? Negative 1/5. So I'm going to add 1/5 to move it to the other side to get B alone. That's 4 1/5, right? Which is 21/5. Okay, normally when they show us the answers, they put it in this type of a fraction instead of that type. Okay, so the answer to this is y equals negative 1/5 x plus 21/5. If you had 4.2, the decimal, that'd be okay. All right? But those types of problems seem to give students in the past that I've had the most issue, that type of problem, with parallel and perpendicular.
So, what is parallel?
Then we would use 5
Just 5/1.
right there, yeah.
And then is there any other ones or no?
No, they'll give you, there were some that they gave you 2 points, right? And you had to find the equation of the line that went through them.
Yeah.
So we had to find the slope first, and then do this part. Once you figured out what M was, then you did it like that, or slope, point slope form. Remember we did that yesterday, or Friday too, right?
It's okay.
There was point slope. Some of you like doing it that way. You still then get y by itself. So we would have, if we did it that way, we would have put y minus 4 equals negative 1/5 times the quantity x minus 1. We would have put the 1 for x1 and the 4 in for y1. And done everything else the same. Get y by itself. Either way works. Okay? Any other questions on the warm-up? Okay. Let's look at answers. And again, if you've got a question, we'll go over it. All right, so number 12 was the first one. I gotta get on the right page. All right, number 12, you're looking at a graph and you're trying to write the equation of the line. So you just see where it crosses the x-axis, which is your b value, and then you count from one point to the other, down and over, or up and over, whatever it is, to find your m, your slope. You guys listening? So we get y equals negative 3/2 x plus 2, number 12. For number 14, it's a horizontal line through 3. The slope of a horizontal line is 0. and the vertical line's undefined. Okay, Garrett?
Right?
So this one was horizontal, so if you wrote y equals 0x plus 3, you're okay. Usually for those, we just write y equals 3 for a horizontal line. If it's a vertical line, you just write x equals whatever the x value is, okay? Number 16, all you have to do is find the slope. It's negative 7/2, negative 7/2. Number 18, pick two of the 4 points to find your slope and then your y-intercept, and it's y equals negative x or negative 1x plus 8. Number 20 was like the one we just did for warm-up, except it said parallel. It's y equals negative 1/5 x plus 17/5, which is 3 2/5 or 3.4 for the 17/5 part. That, you knew that it was parallel, so they gave you the negative 1/5. Let's stop there. Any of those you want me to go over?
18.
Okay, they gave us 4 points in that one, Joey. Which 2 points did you use?
I definitely just did it wrong. I mean, choose 2 points.
Okay. I usually take the first two.
Was it like the table or something?
Yeah, it was a table. So these were the first 2
Alright.
points of the table. This was x, that was y. So you just go, to find your slope, second y minus the first y, second x minus the first x.
Alright.
Come on, some of you guys are kind of chatty today. Keep it down so they can hear me, please. All right, so that's how we get our m. So minus the negative is plus, so that's negative 5. And that's also negative 5. No, it isn't, positive 5, sorry. And that's negative 1 for our slope. And then you pick one of the 4 points to plug in. Do you like doing y equals mx plus b or the point slope?
Why?
Okay.
It's just easier. For sure.
Okay, so you put it like that, and let's just pick the first point. So we'll put negative 2 in for the y, and 10 in for the x. So I'm just going to add 10
Alright.
to get b by itself then. So we get 8 is b. So it's y equals negative x plus 8.
Alright.
Anything else up to 20? Okay, 22 is, they used S for shoe size and L for foot length, I believe. So S equals 4L minus 32.5 is what they got. So basically you're using those 2 points, the X part would be the length and the Y part would be the shoe size. And the length or the size for a foot, the men's size shoe for a foot that measures 9.5 inches is a 5.5 shoe for a man. And when a woman's foot measures 8.5 inches, it's a 3 for shoe size for parts A and B of 22. So basically it's the same type of problem, then you had to answer the question. 24, those 2 lines are perpendicular. Any question on 22 or 24? I'll go over 26 because that's a little different. Okay. So they gave us the problem in function form. We say f of 3 equals 3 and f of -1 equals 4. Okay, so remember, function notation is f of x, is like our y value, right? So what they're saying is this is the point, x is 3 when y is 3. Or I guess y is 3 when x is 3. So that point is 3, 3 is what they're telling us. This point is -1, 4. So they're giving us 2 points. They're just giving it to us in function form instead of point form. So then we just do what we've been doing. Find the slope and then find the equation. All right? So the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We'll do point slope this time. So we'll go y minus the y. I'll use the 0.33 equals m times the quantity x minus the x. And then let's distribute the -1/4 first. A -1/4 times -3 is a +3/4. And then add the 3. We'll finish it up. Okay, you got 3.75, or if you go 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. That's probably how you would see it written in the book for the answer. So again, that's just a different way to give you 2 points. That's the x value, that's the y value of the point when they write it that way. Okay? 28. Part A was 113.5. Part B was 2,925.2. And part C was 29.6 miles per hour. Number 30, y equals -1/2 x plus 1/2. Number 32 is y equals -x. 34 is y equals 9/5 x plus 32. And 36 is y equals -2. Any of those you would like me to go over for you? No? All right, I'd like all of you to try this problem now. Find the equation line that goes to these 2 points. I'll come around and check. Shut up.
Is it ready?
That was you, I saw it there, right? I know you did. What? Come on. Really?
Is this right?
Yes. Good job. Yeah. That's good. Canada's right, the bees are wrong.
We're gonna have Lamar Jackson. Because I think I don't want to see Sean Washington.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't know. I have, dude, I can do it all. Shut up.
Yes, that kind of there. So for
Well, I thought you did it. I don't
Oh, you just divided. You were divided then. All right, you guys did well. Cole, what'd you get for the slope? Yeah.
How are they gonna put?
M is 2, that's correct. Anybody have a problem with that? Remember, it's the y's over the x's, right? Subtract. So y equals 2x plus b. So let's use the 0.11. 2 times 1 is 2, so when I move it, subtract 2, what's 1 minus 2? Negative 1. So it's y equals 2x minus 1.
Equal.
Simple, right?
Equal.
Okay. All right, try one more, and then I'll give you your assignment. Nothing new today.
All right.
Just more practice on these. All right, this one, perpendicular to so I want the line that's perpendicular to this line through that point.
Say it again?
Yeah, perpendicular.
We'll get another good game. Game time. I had a good game. I'm the last one. I think he was calling. You watch the Sunday night football game?
Oh, yeah.
I was at an inn.
I like the.
I'm gonna take pictures.
Yeah.
I just got one.
Hang on.
Tonight's Monday night.
I'm doing it with your time.
Keith, Greg,
Bravo.
Dawn, Pat,
Hey, look.
I don't want to get that.
Dang. Oh, it's right. You beat him.
No, maybe.
Get a hat on. Dang.
Alright. Good.
Not a lot of days you there, but they can.
Check later. I'm wrong. Absolutely smart.
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's what, right?
Over this one.
Stop.
What's that?
He always do me good at that.
Yep. That's correct. Good. Same thing. You guys are too smart for me. I can't mess you up. No. Yeah, perpendicular, not parallel, right?
On the same place, yeah, they're just not saying.
Correct. What's the top of the line look perpendicular.
Oh, yeah, you took so bad. What's the essay?
Okay, you guys are doing well. This is the easiest problem. Yes, yes. Close.
Okay.
All right, so what do we know about lines, slopes, Joey? What do we know about slopes of lines that are perpendicular? Opposite reciprocals, right? What do we know about slopes of lines that are parallel? Same slope. You understand the difference? Okay, so this symbol means perpendicular, okay? So that's what I said. I want the equation of the line perpendicular to this line through this point. This is really easy. Why? What is that point right there? But what is it? It is the y-intercept, isn't it? I gave you the b. You didn't have to put 0 in for x and 3 in for y. I mean, most of you did, and that's not wrong, but sometimes you'll be given the b value. Remember, when x is 0, you're on the y-axis, right? So you guys should have been able to do it like this, just looking at the problem without showing any work, is the point I'm trying to make. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? This point is the y-intercept. The b from there. Okay? And that's not always going to happen, right? But if you realize that, you don't have to do any work. Is the point I'm trying to make. That's all.
So putting X up there, what happens?
If there's a number other than
Yeah, 0.
0, then we're going to put the 1 in for the x, or whatever it is, and
Yeah.
whatever the y is, and solve for b like we were. Yeah. I mean, you guys, most of you put the 0 in and the 3, right? But you still got 3, right? You should have got 3. Okay? So, if you should be able to look at a graph, like the first one you did, and give me the y equals mx plus b equation. slope intercept form. You should be able to have 2 points given to you and find the equation of the line that passes through them. Okay? You should be able to do a problem like this where they tell you it's perpendicular parallel to a certain line passing through a point also. And you should be able to find it if it's written like this. What 2 points are those? 1, 2, and 4 negative. So sometimes they'll give it to you in this form. You still should, that's like giving you 2 points, this looks different. And then find the equation, find the slope, and then find the b. Okay? So that's all your homework is tonight, is some more practice of these. Make sure we got this down. Because usually, some of us get confused at this section, so I want to make sure we got it. Any questions? There you go.
Let's go.
Not that many. You got about 10 minutes to get maybe all of them done. There's only 5, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, there's only 5 of them.
You get it done?
Yep.
How long do I have to turn in the homework that I completed?
Absolutely.
From the days that I was.
Till 2 o'clock today.